Hey everybody, what's going on? It's been a long time. Today we're doing a bike check on my 2006 Litespeed Siena. I actually, believe it or not, it's not a GT bike, but I have a surprise at the end. But let's go over this bike. This Litespeed 2006 Siena was actually gifted to me by my brother. You know, I had told him once I finished college that there was this Seattle to Portland bike event, and I wanted to do it, and unfortunately, like, I didn't have a road bike. Actually, like, I had taken probably maybe 10-12 years off of cycling, and so I wanted to get back into it. But you know, a lot of the bikes that are available on, you know, at the bikes, bird, it's a nature channel. No, you know, I wanted to have a pretty nice bike, but you know, for road bikes, even I think back in 2012, about 2012, 2013, you know, it's just really expensive, and road bikes are still expensive today, I think, by comparison, to get a really nice spec. But anyway, my brother gifted me this bike, and let's go. And so I've held it. I'm planning to keep it forever. So you know, this will be my forever road bike, I guess. But yeah, let's go over it. I've been actually training on a lot of putting a lot of miles on this bike, because I've been training for cross-country races locally. You know, this is still slightly out of we're still in, I guess, the COVID pandemic, but kind of using this bike to train. You know, but I've done Seattle to Portland on this a couple times. I've done some pretty epic bike races. I recently joined a Seattle International Run de Nord group. So I'm with them. I did a popular ride. It was like a 68.5 mile ride. Roughly took me almost like 4 hours 26 minutes to pull off. You know, it was me, my wife's cousin, and his friend. So it's my buddy too, I guess, now. But yeah, let's go over the bike. So this bike is pretty old school. I didn't know this because I don't do a lot of road cycling, but here are the Shimano. These are old school Shimano Ultegras, and I guess the way people know is because I didn't know this. Now the new cable routing goes through, you know, like wrapped with the bars like here. And you know, these still stick out, but this is these old school Shimano Ultegra shifters. They're the most these are the nicest, most consistent, reliable shifters like ever. I'm impressed. I've never had anything like bad happen. Like they shift, they're easy to adjust. I love the shifting on here. This is a 2x9 setup. It's just remarkable. You know, here at Shimano Ultegra bottom bracket, it's threaded, and you know, it's a Shimano 170 length crank. I did get a proper bike fit, so anybody who is going to buy a road bike, I would highly recommend getting a bike fit. I think it's worth it. I did a couple things that most people shouldn't be doing, I guess, in road cycling, but platform pedals, and I threw in a dropper seat post. I guess a little bit of a mountain biker in me. You know, and the reason is because I keep forgetting my shoes. I'm not, you know, what happens is I wake up and I'm running late to meet up with friends, and then I just grab whatever shoe, and so then I forget that I have clipless shoes. I was running Look Kios for the longest time. I think if I go back to clipless, I will probably do Looks again. They were my favorite pedal. I tried SPDs before, but I really enjoyed the Looks. For the dropper post, you're probably wondering why I even do this. In Seattle, there's a lot of descents and there's a lot of downhill, and so what I like to do is I like to slam this down and kind of tuck in a little bit more. So if I've got a long descent, I'd prefer my center of gravity to be a little bit lower. And this is like kind of a budget. This is a budget dropper. It's an Exoform speed up, and like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to push it, but it takes a little bit of force because you have to put your body weight into it. But it adjusts up and down. I think this is like their 175 travel dropper. It's pretty long, but I enjoy it. Here, this is the Shimano Ultegra. Like, this whole drivetrain, like, it's the most reliable drivetrain. I will never upgrade it unless it breaks. And what's really cool about it is it's a 2x9 setup. It's a 12, I think it's an 11 or 12 tooth. I think it is a 12. It's a 1228. And then this is running a compact crank set. What I enjoy about this is, and it's a short cage. You know, for Seattle being hilly, you'd think that maybe I'd want to run a 34 or even a 32 cassette in the back, but you know, I just muscle through it. You know, when you're climbing, like I did this ride up from the bottom of Mount Rainier up the, you know, road, and that was a lot of climbing on a 28 tooth. And it's funny because my friends had larger gear ratios, so, or I mean, they had like a better climbing gear, so one revolution for me, I'm like 10 feet out and further every pedal stroke. It's kind of funny. And then these are Shimano Ultegra brakes. These are really good. Even the pads last for quite a while. You know, I think when I replace these pads, which is kind of coming close, I'm going to do the Swiss stops just to give them a chance. If anybody watching this has experience with the Swiss stop pads, I hear a lot of good things about them, so I'm willing to try them because we're, you know, it's July now, but in the Pacific Northwest, once we hit August and September, it's going to start getting cooler and wetter. So, you know, one thing that I kind of want to consider is just having kind of a better general compound brake pad. But I know Cool Stop makes stuff, and their stuff is pretty good. These wheels, these are old school Mavic Cosmics. They're aluminum. They're not, I know they've transitioned to carbon fiber. And you know, the reason I've done this is I had an original that came with the bike, and it was made by a company called Real Design. And unfortunately, I put so many miles on the wheels, they started failing. Replace the spoke, they come out of true real bad, and then you know, I'm truing the wheel like every ride. So I decided to go to Recycled Cycles, shop around, and I found these, and I didn't have to pay much for them, because with what I do at Recycled Cycles a lot is every time I'm swapping out parts, or I'm buying a bike for certain parts, but I'm selling off the rest. I usually just sell them off to Recycled Cycles in Seattle. And that's how I was able to get this wheel set for pretty cheap. I think if I had to pay it out of pocket, it would have been like $300. But these spin. I really like them. You know, really nice hub. Rides real nice. And one of my favorite things, and I know it's an old school thing too, is I'm running 700 by or like 23 millimeter wide tires. I know people are like, do 25 or whatever. And actually on the Litespeed Siena, I did try you can't fit a 28 in here. I thought it would be funny or I thought it'd be interesting to do if I could pull it off, and I can't. It's the clearance is not enough on here, so believe it or not, you're actually going to get some rub, especially if the wheel is kind of flexed a bit. So that's why. But I like the Vittorio Rubino. I was running Pro 6 for a while, and I'm trying these out. The Pro 6 didn't even have this kind of pattern at all. They were just literally just flat. They were just slick. So but these are pretty good. I like the grip on them. They corner real well. I pushed them a bit and had enough miles on him. I haven't had flats, and I think one of the reasons is because I run Tuffy liner in here. So I run the 700 by 28 plastic liner in here. So because, you know, in Seattle, when they're doing a lot of commuting, there's like a lot of idiots that like litter and throw glass bottles out and stuff like that. So you have all these sharp objects on the road. So it just gives me a little insurance. There is a weight penalty, but you know, thinking that you don't have to pull off on the side of a busy road or anything like that, it just gives you that that extra you know, safety. So that's why I do that. I don't mind the weight penalty because I'm a heavier rider. So if I lose a pound of weight, I've shaved off a lot more weight. Here, these are Shimano Ultegra brakes. They're really reliable brakes. Even in the wet and winter, they still work real well. They dial in real nice. They're super easy. These are easier to adjust than any V-brake I've had. It's amazing. You know, like you can adjust it in these sections and line it up, and it just works real well. Now, I guess we can talk about the frame. Yeah, so Litespeed makes titanium bikes. I know they were doing carbon fiber for a while, but I don't see that anymore. I'm kind of curious. If anybody knows that backstory, drop it in the comments box. But yeah, this is a size medium frame. I'm 5'6". I did have this bike professionally fitted. So and then this runs a Cane Creek headset. Pretty cool. It's been, you know, you just service it every year. It's just pretty much ball bearings, you know, clean it out, repack it with grease, take care of your stuff, and it'll last for quite a long time. Here, this is a Litespeed carbon fork. And so, you know, cutting it, if you don't know how to, if you're not comfortable cutting carbon fiber stir tubes, and this is like still like a straight 1 1/8 head tube, you know, you just got to be really careful, or get the right tools, or have a bike shop do it and they'll do it for you for probably pretty cheap. I don't know what grip tape this is. This is my favorite bar tape, even though it's kind of coming apart because I put enough mileage, but I'm trying to keep it going. This is a 40 millimeter wide handlebar, or centimeter, no, sorry, not 40 millimeters, but it's a 140 cm, something like that. But anyway, no, it's a 40, sorry, it's a 40 centimeter drop bar. I'm so kind of lost on road bike stuff. But anyway, it's this on a 31.8 clamp diameter stem. And I like these zip stems. I think I ended up getting the stem swapped out during my bike fit. So, but what a huge difference that makes. Up top, here is a Specialized Roman yeah, it's a Specialized Roman saddle. So when I got my bike fit, I was running a Physique saddle, and it was really uncomfortable, and it was also too narrow on this during my bike fit. This is the 142 millimeter wide saddle, and it's really comfortable. I did sell the Portland on it. It's a good road bike saddle, nice and aero looking too. I'd recommend it. I know some people do Specialized, I think it's called tube, I don't know. And people find that comfortable, like another equivalent. But I like the styling of it. It's real smooth and slick. And the durability is nice. I put literally like lots of miles on here, and as you can tell, oh no, sorry, it's a 155. Jeez, little did I know. So yeah, it is a really durable saddle. Like, I've ridden it in winter, fall, like lots of rainy weather, and it's held up. I'm a heavier rider too, so probably one of the very few. I know Specialized does make some pretty decent products, so I'm not surprised that it has lasted for, you know, 5+ years with hundreds of miles on it. And really, like, I mean, this is starting to wear just a little bit, but I mean, I did crash though once, so maybe that's from it, but on this side. But I think other than that, like, it's a really good product. And these are titanium rails, yeah, hollow tie. So I really enjoy this. But you know, this has pretty much been my kind of training bike, but my primary road bike. I do have other road bikes, but this is the one I was bike fitted for, and bike fits are pretty expensive. So when you're paying it out of pocket, they get really pricey. So you just have to be cognizant of that. But it's worth it, because if you're riding your road bike, you're getting a lot of joint pain or discomfort, definitely consider getting a bike fit. 100%, it will definitely do you a lot of good. Oh, I should have said I'm running the original old Tacx water ball cage. I had another one of these, but it broke. These tabs down here break quite a bit. I've gone through like 6 of these, but that's because I already had 6 of them. So I've just, through attrition, I'm just down to this one. But I've replaced it with this real cool, really strong PDW, our Portland Design Works water bottle cage. It holds the water bottle cage. It's real nice. You know, if you have different sizes, you can kind of bend it in and out, and so it's been really fun that way. But yeah, now I think I need to get to my surprise, which is, and here it is. This is my 2019 GT grade carbon. you know, special thanks to Rochelle and the team over at GT for helping me outsource this bike. You know, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the things that I really wanted to do was compete in the Whistler Grand Fondo, but I also wanted to race in a lot of gravel bike races. Like, I've been doing a lot more cross country. I don't know if I'll race road. I don't think that's, or like crit races or anything. I don't think that's kind of my thing, but I do enjoy, I didn't realize this, but I do enjoy road cycling. I even enjoy a little bit of the kind of shorter distance randonneuring, if that makes any sense to anybody. So anyway, GT was very nice, and they had sourced me this frame, you know, because it's just really difficult to find, even for consumers in the United States where I live. It's really difficult to find the GT grade frames. They're not even in the US catalog offerings at this moment in time. I hope they bring them back. I think they're a really fantastic bike. This is not the new iteration of the GT grade, because the latest GT grade runs 142 versus this is through axle, and this is the old school quick release 135 space. But I've heard you can run like pretty wide tires on, like you can run maybe 28, or you can easily run 28s. I forget if you, I think the max might be 32, I forget, but you know, I'm planning to run 28s because I'd love to do some road cycling on here, like on my training runs. Like some days I'll take the lightest speed on my usual route, other days I won't. I'd love to try this because it's really interesting. This is a I mean, it's a dual fiber dynamics. I think it's like fiberglass and carbon fiber composite. So, but like I wear a size small glove and I have really small hands, so I mean these stays are real thin. Like you can squeeze like you only have to squeeze that much, and you get flex in it. And people who have the first gen or older gen GT carbon grades, they just absolutely love their ride quality. With the newer ones, what they've done is they bypass these seat stays bypass, and you don't even connect where the seat tube is. They just connect directly to the top tube, and so that gives it a lot more compliance, I guess. Equivalent to, I think, what I've heard is like a Cannondale Topstone, which actually has a more visible suspension in it. So you know, I think it's this is a really cool bike. I did weigh it, and it comes out to roughly 2.48 pounds, which I think is impressive. Here, you know, this runs a 100 millimeter wide carbon fork. The reason I've left it this long is I haven't gotten a bike fit yet, so I don't want to cut this too clean. So it'll probably have maybe 4 spacers at most, and then if when I get a bike fit, they think it's too tall, then at least, you know, it's easier to take away than obviously add on. And these forks are really expensive, so if I cut this too short and my bike fit's horrible, I don't want to deal with that. But yeah, this is a tapered head tube, so very contemporary. You know, my Litespeed's still running a straight 1 1/8. This is really nice. So it's not internally routed, so if you look, you know, there's your mounts here, and this is a press fit bottom bracket. I'm gonna go with Wheels Manufacturing on this one, just because I hear a lot of people who are running the press fits from Wheels, they have a lot of positive things to say. There isn't creaking or anything. This is, I believe, a PF30 that you have to put on here. I mean, I don't have the tool for it, so JHW's going to have to help me out on that. I am not going to run a 1x setup, and the reason is, like, I don't do a lot of I mean, I have entertained it, but I mean, the reality is, like, with the combination of tarmac or road cycling that I do, and the fact that I'm planning to also do some gravel, you know, I think maybe I'll run a compact up front if I can, like a 2x, and then a 10 or 11. I'd prefer to probably run a 10, just because then it's easier for me to have a consistency of parts. Like, if a lot of you already know, I usually try to standardize a lot of my parts on my bike, so if anything breaks, I have just stock of it for a lot of my other bikes anyway. I can pull it replace it and it's done. So I think the only problem is I might as well just do a 2x11 because I'd like to put a wider I think if I'm running a compact, the best I can do, I've heard, is like maybe a 36 or a 34, 36, something like that. But I haven't decided. I'd like to do it. Ultimately, maybe I could do a GRX build on here, a 2x GRX, but I don't know. It's just really difficult to source parts right now, and parts that are reasonably priced, since I'm paying for a lot of it out of pocket. Like, I also have to source wheels on here. Haven't decided if I'm just going to get a temporary kind of inexpensive set, because, you know, the newer grades run through axle. This is still quick release 135. So I think I'll probably try to get some stuff custom built. I did entertain getting some Onyx hubs for this. Like, I think that would be pretty killer. You know, they just seem, they just been real nice. I've heard so many great things, and I've always wanted some Onyx hubs. I don't know what color I'd get to match this frame. I know it'd be really expensive for the hubs and the wheel build. So if any of you can I have some suggestions, because I'm planning to run a 28. I'd like to run a 28mm wide tire, just generally. If anybody is running 28s and they have a like a rim that they actually really like, feel free to drop it in the comments box. I'm interested, because I'm not really well versed in road cycling, so a lot of stuff goes over my head a bit. Here I just threw it in the Easton stem, just because I needed something to hold the fork and headset together, so that's why. But I am planning to run a dropper, and I'm going to run an SQ Lab saddle, because those are exceptionally comfortable saddles. Brakes, I just want to do it. I know it's going to be super overkill, and a lot of road cyclists will be like, that's the dumbest thing ever, and that's fine. Is I actually want to try mating some Magura MT5 brakes on here with Shimano brake levers. I know that people have done it in the mountain bike scene. I'm just curious if it works in the road bike scene, so we'll see. If it does, that's awesome. If not, oh well, then I guess I have spare MT5. No, they'll just go on a mountain bike. But yeah, that is it for this GT Carbon grade. You know, as the project comes along, I hope to get this built before September. That's my hope anyway. I'd like to run some 40 cm wide bars, just because that's what my bike fit has, and I find those to be comfortable. I don't plan to do flare out bars, you know, that kind of go like that. I do want it to be a little bit close to a drop, you know, typical road bike, but not to where it's too sketchy if I'm riding certain things. But yeah, I will keep all of you posted. Thanks for watching. Now you got look into the life of me as a roadie a little bit. I'll probably do some more road bike videos. It's cool. There was a guy who recently subscribed, and he's a road cyclist. Saw me on Komoot, so I'm just trying to divvy up the two. I thought I was gonna, as an update, I thought I was gonna record some bike races, but having a camera on my head is very heavy and painful to do, so I'll have to come up with some. I'd like to, the chest mount's okay too, I guess I could do that. It's just the weather's also been hot, so the camera overheats and not fun. But anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, I'll put out some more videos. It's just been such a busier summer than I thought. All right, everybody, take care. All right, bye.